Welcome, everyone, to the Green Pill Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jeffrey, and with me is Kat, my co-host. And today we're going to be talking about red flags. Yeah, red flags now. Red flags are typically used in dating in terms of if you have that red flag, you're a no. Now, red flags are a good thing. You should have some red flags. Some people are just so desperate. One statistic is that like men on Tinder typically will go with yes on 90% of the profiles, and women on Tinder will typically go with 50 or so percent. That that is again a question of, well, I think women are probably right. You should be a little bit of red flaggy there. 50% seems about right for me for Tinder. Although it is a very male biased platform either way. Um, but the thing is, you can have too few. Swiping right on 90%, that's too few red flags. But you can have too many, where you're swiping right on 1 out of 100. You probably are flagging things a bit too much, although maybe you're just really unlucky in getting a lot of creepies. That can happen too. But that's the topic we're going to talk about today.
I think the important thing to remember as far as red flags go is that people are complicated and there's no hard and fast rule for everyone. You see these memes going around saying that if that a massive red flag with guys is if a guy tells you that his favorite book is Catcher in the Rye or Fight Club or one of that crowd, that's a red flag. Or if a guy tells you that his favorite character in something is Walter White or one of that's a red flag and that you should run screaming. And I'm going, well, yes, and I see why that would be a red flag, but me, I guess I would ask the follow-up of why do you like Walt? And if you say to me, because Walt's amazing and I want to be just like him, then I go, okay, yes, see ya. But if your answer is because he is a complicated and well-written and interesting character, then we can continue to talk. So I wouldn't just shut the door just cause
Right.
and also red flags are warnings, aren't they? It
Yeah.
doesn't mean run away, it
No,
means be warned.
you warned. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that the type of red flags, there's the 666 paradigm. No, I'm not talking about the name of the beast here. I'm just talking about 6 foot tall, six-pack abs, 6 inches of something that a man has, and a six-figure salary.
Ugh.
If those are your red flags, well, you can have them, but the amount of men that you've eliminated by having those flags, that is again having the essentially abundance mentality with no abundance to prevail, because you're talking about such a small sample size of the general population.
I see some of these things that a friend of mine is, I don't think she's actually interested in being with anyone except her dogs, but she's on at least a couple of these dating sites just for I think for the amusement factor. And she will take screenshots and post some of what these guys say that these guys from like North Carolina say that they're looking for in a woman. And Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. You must be a 32 triple D and you must weigh 108 pounds and you must be a virgin and you must, not have a job and, oh my God. First of all,
Insane.
it's this impossible list. Second of all, what decade are you living in? And third, are you how are you really thinking that you are going to, I mean, I guess there's someone out there for everyone, but good Lord, sir, you
Exactly.
really think that this is, you're gonna find someone in 2024 who's gonna fit all of these criteria? I mean, you do you, and if she's out there, I hope you're very happy together. But
Right. And I will say that you are allowed to make your own red flags. Me, for one, if she's a little overweight, that is not a red flag for me because a lot of women are. That's okay. Don't be mean like that. But if you don't aren't into it, respect. But
some guys prefer it that way.
some guys prefer it. And some guys are like, you're too skinny. It just
Yep.
happens. That's the way it is. I think the main thing with red flags is that you can have too few and you can have too many. There is a sweet spot where you have just the right amount, just enough filters that'll get you a good sample size of potentials, but not so many that you'll have too, not so few that you'll have too many choices, and not so few that you'll have almost none.
I mean, if someone is actually, like, I'm thinking about, you're saying the 666 thing, and if someone is actually consider like so strict about physical type that that they'd consider that a red flag, I
Mm.
feel sorry for that person.
Yes, it is.
Because I, if they're that superficial, I feel sorry for that person. For
Absolutely.
me, a red flag would be a personality trait that I find scary.
Right. And there are many, many positive, good, useful red flags that are personality traits. And believe me, those red flags, let them stand. They usually are there to look out for you because things can go sour. And if you've got those red flags to protect you from the sours, you can have a red flag because you don't like the Picard look. That's fine on you. I'm still rocking the Picard and I'm just going to live my life because there are plenty of fish out there for me. I don't worry about it.
Also, I mean, I'm one of those people that is, I mean, we talked about the whole demisexual thing, and I'm one of those people that, yeah, I mean, I do have a physical type that I am more attracted to than others, but I will also vary from that because if your personality is, if I'm drawn to your personality, then I'm going to begin to find you attractive no matter what you look like.
Absolutely.
So if this is counts as that much of a deterrent, I mean, okay, you do you, but it's very limiting.
And certainly one red flag that I will typically have is, are you nice to the wait staff? Because if
Oh,
you're not
yeah.
nice to the wait staff, I just know that you've got this sort of blase looking at different people. And no, you should try and treat everyone with respect. And if you're not, you're out.
A big thing for me, I've noticed over the years, is how was the guy's relationship with his mother?
Mm,
I mean, really, because that's a lot of, I mean, not everybody, I'm generalizing here because we've established that there are there are crap mothers in the world, and okay, fine.
absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
that's, your initial relationship with a woman is your mother. And I'm not
Yep.
getting Freudian here because I do not believe in that.
No, no.
But that's going to establish how you're going to treat women your entire life. So, how are they treating the women in their family? How
Right.
do you treat your sisters? How do you treat your mom? Do you respect your mom?
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is like, I've sat there and watched guys that just be really rude and
Mm,
I've sat there going, really? I mean, this isn't my business and I'm not your girlfriend, so I'm not going to say anything, but like,
mm.
dang. And
Yeah,
and it's sad.
it really is. Showing common decency is not too much to ask from anyone. And
Yeah.
again, this is a very simple red flag that I think all of us should try to aspire to because it's a basic humanitarian element of our lives. And overall, I think it's just important to set boundaries, set the red flags, but try to set them meaningfully, thoughtfully. And when you have the right amount, you will find the right person.